Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to remember to like and subscribe to my channel because I need all the support I can get from you. Thank you very much. In today's video, we are going to do a really quick review of the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time Half and Half. Reference number for this watch is SRPK48. So the Half and Half was a new model launched at the end of 2023. So this is like slightly over a year old. And during the release, there were two models. As with all Cocktail Time watches, they are heavily inspired by drinks, hence the name Cocktail Time series. So in this series, there are two watches that are gold IP plated. We've got the 48 here known as the Half and Half, and the Half and Half here refers to this drink, which is sort of a mix of ale and stout. You can see very clearly from this gradient dial here. Let me just bring the watch closer to the lens. I hope it focuses well. So you can see that this is a gradient dial and it's got a golden hue in the center of the dial, and this gold here gradates to a dark brown at the outer edges of the dial. So obviously we are looking at the golden hue of the ale, which is more or less a sort of beer, and as we gradate towards the edge of the dial, we've got this stout here, which is like a dark brown thing. So I think it's a really clever name or nickname given to the watch here. Really looks the part, really fits the description, and we also have lovely texturing on the dial. So the entire watch is done in this gold IP plating. This is not rose gold, it is gold, yellow gold, as described by Seiko, and I think it really fits the entire theme and design of this Cocktail Time series very well. At the time of this review, the Half and Half SRPK48 has a street price of just under 600 Singapore dollars. You can definitely get this one from our boutique, and this is where the watch was loaned in from. Let me take the time to thank Eric at the Our Boutique for so kindly and generously loaning me all the watches for my video reviews. Now with the lens slightly zoom in, let's go through some of the key specs of the SRPK48 Half and Half. So obviously this is using a generic case from the Seiko Presage series. If I'm not mistaken, the casing bracelet is exactly the same with previous models. This has a case of 40.5 millimeters, so it is not a small watch. And we have a thickness of around 12.5 millimeters. The L to L of this watch is 47.5 millimeters. And it also has a 20 millimeter lug width. And we've got this bracelet here, which is the 5-link bracelet. Looks dressier than the engineer style bracelet found in other Seiko Cocktail Time watches. We also have this butterfly clasp here, which offers half link for better sizing and adjustment. It's also got a rather large dial here. So the crystal size is about 35.5 millimeters. At 40.5 millimeters case size, it is not exactly small. But to be fair, it doesn't look overly big as well because we've got this curved Hardlex crystal. I think it is called some sort of a top hat, bubble glass something. Alright, so this is not sapphire crystal. The case back, or rather the case back crystal, it is also not sapphire crystal. Now this watch houses the 4R35 Seiko movement. We have a gold rotor here, semi-skeletonized gold rotor. Again, this is a generic part or generic design from the other or the usual Seiko Cocktail Time watches. I do like the fact that it's got a gold plated case back. I'm referring to this part here. So the rim here or the actual case back, it is gold plated, IP plated, as opposed to many IP plated watches whereby once you flip over to the back view, it will reveal all the stainless steel metal instead. So giveaway signs that this is a rather entry-level model would be the folded end links here. So not exactly a lot to shout about when it comes to build quality and design. In fact, the overall case design, the case itself, bracelet, everything is a generic Seiko part. The main thing that is special about this watch will be its style, which is, I must admit, really nicely crafted, nicely done. Again, let's take a look at the lovely texturing on this dial here. The colors, the texturing that you get when you put in the light play on the dial. So as much as I like the execution and the design and the color on this dial, I think Seiko has more or less spoiled everything by incorporating this date wheel here at the 3 o'clock zone. Alright, so I know the 4R35 is a movement with a date complication, but there's really no need to put a date in this kind of design. By opening up this date window, you're actually spoiling the continuity and the design of this dial. So just take a look here. I don't know what the white date wheel is doing here. It just spoils everything. All right, after all, this is a cocktail inspired kind of watch. So who cares about what date it is when you're enjoying a few drinks after work? Zooming out to a fake wrist shot of the half and half on my 17cm wrist, you can see that it is not the smallest watch, but it doesn't look overly big or comical on my wrist. Alright, I can easily wear this one without looking comical or feeling that it is very heavy. I think all I need to do is remove a few links, and this is going to fit me very nicely. For today's size comparison, I have brought in this slightly older watch in my collection. I believe many viewers will remember this one. I must have reviewed this one about 2 to 3 years back. I endearingly call this watch C3PO. This is in fact the only gold theme watch in my collection. It is of course IP plated. Interestingly, you can see that we've got two very different hues of gold here. So I'm going to use different types of beer to describe these watches, since this is a review on this cocktail time model. So I'm from Singapore, and the one on my right here, the shade of gold here reminds me of Tiger beer from Singapore. And on my left here, the shade of gold here reminds me of Kronenbourg Blanc. A lighter shade, more like a wheat beer, and this is like a lager. So all in all, a very interesting design in terms of the colors and this dial here. Obviously the dial here is the highlight of the entire watch. Alright, the other parts of the watch, from the bracelet to the case design and the build quality, I think there's really nothing much to shout about. So if you're looking for a watch that creates this kind of visual impact, I think this is quite interesting. So thank you for watching this watch review. If you liked the video, remember to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will see you next week for more videos. This is Andy in Singapore. Bye bye.